Hello friends, it is Nomad Brad coming to you from my box truck, hanging out in the parking lot, looking at the beautiful Target building in San Diego, California. I spent all day here today, filmed a video that I'm working on for Sunday. Nomad King Gamer stopped by for a minute, handed over a refrigerator to him. So I got King Gamer testing my power station I received, and then also I just got a refrigerator that came in, and so I'm passing those units off to him, and if he likes them, and if they work out well for his car camping, then they will be his units to use and have a much better life, because without them he doesn't get cold snacks. So hello everybody in the chat. Who do we have today? We have Super Dave, Adventures with Super Dave. Hello, happy to see you here. Super Dave is a great regular. Super Dave asks what videos or what am I using to edit my videos. I use Adobe Premiere Pro to edit my videos on a Mac computer. I think Adobe is a pretty good piece of software. You do have to pay for it. I think it's about 20 bucks a month. But I do like it. If you want some free software, there are a lot of free options out there as well. If you guys are getting into just starting out with videos, I always recommend doing some free software at first, kind of get everything figured out, and then you can move on to some paid stuff. Charlie Pepin, hello, happy to have you here. Charlie Pepin is also a paid channel member. Super Dave, Charlie, and Diana, the top three here that are waiting, they're all paid members. I appreciate you guys for helping support the channel, help keep the wheels turning, keep the steaks burning. Appreciate you guys. Good to see you. Diana coming from Kansas City, Missouri. Super Dave is in Georgia. John C. with the chorizo coming from Fairfax County, Virginia. Hello, John C. Happy to have you here. You're always bringing the good vibes. I appreciate the good energy. King Gamer has entered the chat. John C says he's writing from his sofa. Happy to hear it, John C. Happy you're kicking back and getting comfortable and just enjoying the live stream. Allison's Wonderland, hello from Oceanside. Hello, Allison. Allison reached out to me via email earlier this week and was asking about my video editing process. And so I'm happy to see Allison is here, and she is she's making content for seniors on her channel up in Oceanside. So Allison's doing the good work. There's plenty of seniors on YouTube, and I know they would love to reach out and connect to other seniors. Brenda Hunt is in the room. RMR Pictures from New York City. Hello, happy to have you. Pinky Williams, hello, from North Carolina. A lot of East Coast in the house. Georgia, Virginia, New York. Missouri's not really, Missouri's more central, but it's still on the eastern side. I like it. Hell yeah. Welcome, guys. Happy to have you here. So today, we are going to talk about a little stealth camping. I was working on a video, and I thought, hey, let's do a live stream. I just want to cover, again, some of my tips and just show you guys how I find good stealth camping spots. It's always fun. I've been finding all kinds of new spots here in San Diego. Every night is a new adventure. And so I was going to just share the information, share the knowledge with you folks, and show you how it's done. Nina Gomez from San Francisco. Leroy from Las Vegas. Greetings. Happy to have you guys here. Additionally, I wanted to say, if you guys have any questions, anything at all, I'll do a Q&A at the end of the chat, and I will try to answer whatever questions you guys might have. So hold on to those questions, or if you think about them, just drop them in the chat, and I will try to answer them as we go through the video. I also wanted to say, in regard to free things, I have a couple sponsorships I'm working on. One is for a 1500 watt power station. I know Diana was asking about a power station, so I'm trying to get a 1500 watt power station, and if that comes in, I'll be doing a giveaway for that. And then also Bougie RV reached out. They have a really badass stainless steel 12 volt refrigerator. It's the chest style. It looks really, really nice. It's like $600. So I'm expecting it to be a pretty fancy refrigerator. And if they send me that unit to review, I will also be giving that away. So a nice power station and a refrigerator, hopefully coming through, and I will be passing that on to one of my followers. So hopefully someone that needs one of those items will enter and win, and we can help out the nomad community, spread the love, spread the convenience of modern technology, and get some people moving. So here's what we're going to do today. We're doing stealth camping. I want to show you guys what I found. Revo Runner from BC, Canada. Hello, Revo Runner. Happy to have you here. It's actually a little warm right now. It's 78 degrees in the Nomad Bradmobile. I might have to open this window, get a little airflow going, because I'm feeling a little bit hot. Oh, there we go. There we go. All I had to do is crack that window. Now I got my front window open and my back window open, and I should get a pretty nice little cross breeze. All right, cool. So check this out. Right now I'm at Target. This is the live Target parking lot cam, just watching the cars drive by. There was actually a Rolls Royce that came by earlier and parked right across from me there. It's kind of interesting to see a Rolls Royce, probably a $200,000 car, costs more than some people's homes, and just chilling up in the Target parking lot. Let's see what Leroy says. I'm paying $1,300 a month rent and wonder if living mobile would save money, and how much for a low budget RV or van. So, Leroy, $1,300 a month. You can definitely live comfortably on $1,300 a month. I'm currently living on about $1,000 a month, and that is all my living expenses combined. So everything, food, gas, car insurance, cell phone, gym membership, my YouTube subscription, everything. So the difference is, like, if you're paying $1,300 for rent, then on top of that rent, you're still paying for electricity and water and sewer and maybe renter's insurance, and then you're paying for a car, or if you don't have a car, you're paying for Lyft or Uber or a bus pass. So when you consider your entire living expenses, living in a vehicle is definitely going to be cheaper. So yes, it's cheaper. The only challenge is, if you want to try to get a van or an RV, that is going to cost you money. So you have to take that into account. If you don't have a bunch of money set aside for a van or an RV, that's going to cost you. But if you do have a car, you could start out living in your car and then saving up towards a van or an RV. You can save up quite a bit of money when you don't have to pay rent every month. So that's something to consider. Brian M comes through with the super chat. Thank you, Brian M. He says, today was my first day using solar power. Got my 220 Broval up to 223 watts. Feeling like I have arrived. Brian, happy to see it. Happy to see you have solar power. And yeah, get that free energy from the sun. I'm curious, what are you using the solar power on? Is that a vehicle? Is it a car? Is it an RV? Is it a house? Tell me what's connected to your solar panel. Leroy says 97 degrees in Las Vegas. Something else to consider, Leroy, if you're going to live in a vehicle, I would recommend getting out of Las Vegas. It's going to be really hot in Las Vegas all summer. It's going to be hard to be comfortable in a vehicle unless you have air conditioning, and then that puts you in like a whole nother price bracket. So if you can relocate to somewhere more comfortable, then you could definitely save some money by living in a vehicle. What is this? Another super chat, $50 super chat from Adventures with Super Dave. Thank you, sir. I appreciate you. Super Dave has been blessing me with the super chats lately. I hope I am bringing good value because he's been throwing it out left and right. I appreciate you, Super Dave. Happy to have you here. Happy to help you out and provide encouragement, and anything I can do to further assist you, Super Dave, let me know. I'm happy to help you out. Chilling in DC, what's up, my man? Happy to see you here. See you as a regular supporter in the chats. Happy to have you here. Thank you again, Super Dave. I appreciate you. Linda Stokes, what's the best way to keep cool for summers? Honestly, Linda, the best way is to live somewhere where the weather is comfortable. You know, the best part about living in a vehicle is your home is on wheels and you can relocate. So my first tip is go somewhere comfortable. Pretty much anywhere on the West Coast is going to be comfortable. Oregon, California, Washington, good weather all summer. Pretty easy living, beautiful scenery, and you can also get a job. So, you know, if the job you have is currently holding you into a hot spot like Las Vegas, depending on what your job is, I would try to relocate to somewhere that's more comfortable. You know, you can use fans, but fans are only going to get you so far. If you're living somewhere that's 100 degrees during the day, no amount of fans or insulation are going to help you. You can do air conditioning, but in order to really run your air conditioner off grid with only solar, it's going to cost you quite a bit of money for the solar panels and the batteries and all the other systems. So air conditioning is an option if you have money set aside, but if you don't, I would just travel. I would just relocate to somewhere comfortable. Granny Wowzers, first time in a live chat. I usually watch your videos. Granny, happy to have you here. Thank you for being in a live chat. I'm always happy to see new members coming in, being a part of the community. I like the live chats because I can get instant reactions. You guys can talk to me and give me your feedback. We can ask questions. So the live chats are a really fun way to interact, and I like them. Diana Saylor with the $5 super chat. Thank you, Diana. I appreciate you. Diana has been a long-term supporter. Diana has been around for years, ever since back when I had a Van Life RX channel. Most of you guys don't even know about that. That was like 3 years ago, and Diana has been around for a long time. So I appreciate her being here, and I'm hoping soon she will be able to live in her tiny home on wheels. I know she's in a bus now, a 5-window schoolie, so hopefully we can get her on the road soon. Brian M. Power Station, EcoFlow. I have a fridge freezer. I'm taking baby steps before I get a van. Right now I have a Grand Caravan. Think I want to get what Foresty Forest has, Econovan. Yeah, I love Foresty Forest. So I want to share something with you guys. For those of you that have been following the channel for a while, you know I've been having a lot of troubles with this box truck. There's a component on it that has been just a pain in the butt. I've tried to fix it. I've not been able to fix it. It is continually leaking. It's currently leaking, and it's limiting my ability to travel. Nomad Brad needs to travel for work. I have solar jobs lined out all along the West Coast. Starting in the end of June, I'm going to be heading north. And then potentially I have some Las Vegas jobs as well. So I need to travel. This box truck is holding me back. I'm seriously considering just buying a cheap minivan and just packing up all my installation gear and hitting the road. You know, when you live as a nomad, you have to just adapt and overcome. And right now I feel like this damn box truck is holding me back. And I will not allow that to be the situation. I control my own destiny. A leaky box truck will not stop me. So I've been kind of kicking around the idea of getting a minivan and using it to kind of run up north and do some jobs. So we might see if that happens. I might do a quick minivan build and just slap on a solar panel and a refrigerator and hit the road. So if that happens, Brian M., I will be right there with you. I'll just throw one of these power stations in. I'll bolt a solar panel on the roof, and I will hit the road. And honestly, I'm not going to lie, I would be kind of excited to live in a minivan for a while because it would be super good fuel economy. We're looking at like 20 miles a gallon, and it would be super comfortable. Driving this box truck around, it's like driving a big bus. It's bumpy and jittery, but a minivan would be smooth and fast and comfortable. So I'm not even mad about it. I might consider getting a minivan for a while. It's just something I'm thinking about. Granny Wowza's asking about hybrid box trucks. To my knowledge, Granny, they do not make hybrid box trucks, but I would definitely be interested if they did. Linda Stokes is in Bakersfield. It's way too hot. Linda, if you just head towards the coast, the temperatures drop quite a bit. The ocean air really cools everything down. You'll probably notice a 20-degree plus temperature drop just heading to the coast. So that would be my suggestion. You can stay in California, head to the coast, get cooler, You can leave your windows open at night, get that cool ocean breeze coming in, and just get a job at the coast. Granny, a hybrid would save on gas. I agree with you. Brian M, thanks for welcoming Nomads. Brian M, happy to have you here. Chilling in DC. Brad, so how did the AC unit you were testing work out? Chilling in DC. Yes, I have a video coming out in a week or two. So I tested EcoFlow's Wave 2 air conditioner. And so my thought on that air conditioner is it will probably be good for a regular size van, like a cargo van or a minivan. I don't think it would work good for a box truck. It's not enough cooling capacity. It's just not big enough. So that's my review of it. You know, the difference is the Wave 2, like when you read the instructions, even though it's small and portable, all the instructions mention installing it in a house. And basically just carrying it around whatever room you need it in, and then installing the vent kit into a house window. And the reason they talk about installing it in a house is because houses have much better insulation than vans. Houses have, you know, a huge roof with 6 inches of insulation plus a foot of attic space. The walls have way more insulation. So houses are way better insulated. I'm sure that EcoFlow could easily cool down a bedroom in a house. But when you get to a van, the insulation's terrible. You get a lot more heat that comes in. So I don't think it would do good in a big van. Maybe a cargo van, definitely a minivan. But the challenge also with that Wave 2 air conditioner is how are you going to power it? So the run test that I did, like they claim you can get like 8-9 hours with the battery pack. I only got, I think, about 5 hours combined with the battery pack plus the EcoFlow power station, which is 5 hours is not very good. So the problem is if you ran it for the full 5 hours, then the next day you can't charge it while you're using it. So basically you would have to be charging the unit and then powering it independently while you charge it. I don't think it's really practical is kind of what I'm saying. I think basically you got to have 800 watts of solar on the roof to run air conditioning, or you have to have a generator. Those are your only two options. There's no battery or alternator charger that's going to do it for you. Granny Wow says, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate you. Happy to have you here. Welcome to your first live chat. I think it's impressive that you were able to figure out how to leave a super chat on your very first live. Good job, Granny. I'm proud of you. Figuring out the technology, making it happen. Revo Runner says Foresty Forest is the man. I agree. That guy seems super chill. I love his videos. I love what he's doing. Charlie Pepin with the $10 super chat. Thank you, Charlie. I appreciate you. How's the conversion process? How is it coming, Charlie? Let us know. The people want to know. Outdoors Dreadhead, what's up, brother? Happy to see you here. I love Dreadhead. He's always bringing the possibility and the good vibes. Diana Sailor, it's where you started from. You can do anything you put your mind to. This is true. Absolutely. Alpha Sigma lives in a Jeep Patriot 4-cylinder, great on gas. Happy to hear it. You know, something else I was thinking about is if I did switch over to a minivan for a while, is I think I would actually do more adventuring. Because this box truck is so comfortable, it's so comfortable. It's like a studio apartment. So I have and because it's bad on gas and it's kind of big and cumbersome to drive around, so I don't drive it as much as I would if I had something that was easier to drive and more fuel efficient. So if I had a minivan, I think I would actually do a little more traveling. I would go check out more places. I would buzz around. I would go just do a little more exploring. So, you know, a little minivan might not be a bad idea. And I was looking on Facebook Marketplace. You can get a 2015 Kia, let's see, what was it? Was it a Kia Sedona minivan? And I know these are good because my mom had one. My mom had a Kia Sedona minivan. She put almost 200,000 miles on it, and it drove great. It was a really reliable unit. And the ones I found on Facebook Marketplace were like $6,000, and they only had 115,000 miles. So if they've been well maintained, they're going to have a ton of life left. The combined miles per gallon was 20 miles per gallon, and they're pretty roomy. Like if I remove the middle seat and fold down the rear seat, you could comfortably sleep back there. So we'll see what happens. Hennessy Joaquin, born and raised in San Diego. I've been in Vegas for 15 years and I'm tired of the heat. Yeah, San Diego is beautiful. This is Mission Valley. Yes, this is the Mission Valley target. You should come back to San Diego, although it's expensive, but I don't know how much more expensive it is than Las Vegas. I know rent is going up everywhere, but if you live in a vehicle, rent is not a problem. You can live anywhere. Charlie Pepin, I put the box truck on hold. Had to buy a Class A due to getting divorced. I'm going to start purchasing solar panels and batteries, but at least the onboard generator works. Charlie, I hear you, my man. And ain't no shame in a Class A. The nice thing about a Class A RV, it's ready to go. It's built out. There's no time involved. You just buy it and hit the road. And good news is, you can add solar and you can add, a charger and bigger battery banks and whatever you want to do, you can easily add to a Class A. So no shame in that. Off-grid cowboy, I will trade mechanical work for solar work. I want to put this message out to the internet. If anybody can tell me why my transmission mounted parking brake is leaking or fix it for me, I will be eternally grateful. And I will pay you an obscene amount of money. This is just honestly me, from man to man, man to woman. If you can solve this problem for me, I don't care if you have to just go find a mechanic that knows what's going on. If you can fix this problem for me, I will give you $1,000. I will pay you $1,000 cash. No questions asked if you can resolve this problem for me. I can't figure it out. I've replaced the parking brake 4 times. I've had 2 rebuilt units from mechanics. I've looked on forums. I've asked mechanics. Nobody can help me. Nobody. And it's a ridiculous problem to have. And I can't figure it out. And it's holding me back. If you can solve this problem for me, even if you don't do the work, if you can find somebody that can solve this problem for me, I will give you $1,000 cash. Man to man. Let's make it happen. Off-grid cowboy, let's make it happen. Who can do it? Make it happen. Find somebody that can make it happen for me. I will pay you. Bobby Newman, are you using a hotspot? Yes, Bobby, I'm using Nomad Internet. I love it. It's not Starlink. The reason I like Nomad Internet is because it's just a little router that I set on my countertop. This box right here, this is my Nomad Internet device. It's super nice, it's fast, it's convenient. I can take it anywhere I go, and I just plug it in, and it works. The thing with Starlink is you have to have an external unit that mounts on your roof, and it's like a whole bunch of equipment, and the equipment's expensive, and then Starlink keeps raising their prices, so I don't use Starlink. Super Dave says tow a car behind you. That's not a bad idea. I might consider that. Granny Wowzers, Los Angeles, I pay $2,000 for a one-bedroom apartment. That's insane, Granny Wowzers. Are you considering a mobile lifestyle? You're in LA, the weather's not terrible. You could live in a vehicle, pay no rent, and imagine with that $2,000 a month, imagine how much freedom you could have. With $2,000 a month, you could eat out at amazing restaurants. You could spend a couple nights a month at a really fancy hotel. You could go to shows. Imagine how much you could enhance your life with an extra $2,000 every month. The fact people have to spend that just for a place to sleep at night is absolutely ludicrous. It's madness. Spaceboy TV, it's madness. King Gamer says challenge accepted. King Gamer, if you can solve this for me, $1,000 coming to you, cash in your pocket. Help me. Off-grid cowboy sounds like a rear transmission seal. Hey, buddy, if you think you can help me, let me know. Send me an email. nomadbrad503@gmail.com. The offer stands. Okay, guys, we're going to hop into the mission for today. I got off onto talking and just rolling here. But here's what we're going to do. We're going to say goodbye to the target cam. And we're going to say hello to Google. Will a 6-foot parking box truck fit in normal parking spaces? No. Carl, a 12-foot box truck is the maximum box truck that will fit in a parking space. Now, if we're talking about a 16-foot box, that's going to be like 24, 25 feet bumper to bumper. You're going to need dual parking spaces. You can still do it. You can park on the curb. You can take up 2 spaces in a parking, like in a shopping center. But if you want to fit in a single space, 12-foot box is going to be your max. But honestly, I think there's still plenty of parking for a 16-foot box. You just have to be more selective. And honestly, in my next box truck build, I think I'm going to step up one size. Okay, here we go. Stealth camping. So we're going to get into some stealth camping. I love it. It's fun. Here's how we do it, guys. We pull out Google Maps. We go on satellite view. Satellite view is the easiest way to figure out where the good spots are. And so what I want to know, oops, let me reload this. What I want to know is, why does it do that? Google Maps gets all funky on me sometimes. Here we go. What I want to know is what city should we look for stealth camping? I'm just going to pick a random city and we're going to find somewhere to stealth camp. So you tell me, guys, where are you at? Where would you like to find stealth camping? What is an area that you think is challenging? Where should we find a stealth camping spot? Give me a city, a town, a suburb. Talk to me, people. All right, let's hop into satellite view. Here we go. We're going to do some live stealth camping. And the chat went silent. Nobody cares. Okay, Compton. Spaceboy TV says Compton. He's picking the hood. Santa Barbara, New York City. Okay, here come the comments. Compton, Santa Barbara, New York City. Okay, so let's start off. I mean, Space Cowboy came in first, so we're going to try Compton. I know Compton's a little sketchy, but that's okay. Compton, California, satellite view. Let's see what we can do. We're zooming in on Compton. Now, what I like to do for stealth camping, the thing about being in a little bit of a sketchy city, though, like Compton, is the police have a lot more stuff to worry about than some dude sleeping in his car. Like, you're way down at the bottom of the priority list, so odds are they're not going to heckle you for trying to sleep in your vehicle. So, let's see what we can do. We'll go to Compton. This is like easy Main Street right here. Let's see what we got. We got some shopping centers. We got some residential. Here's Martin Luther King Memorial. Here's some residential. Okay, here we go. Now we're getting somewhere. So right here, so what I like to do is look for commercial areas just because they're less patrolled and there's less chance of running into like gangsters or tweakers. And so look at this right here. Another thing that I like is I like to find streets where there's only one lane in each direction. So like if we look here at Willow Avenue, you can see there's just one lane in each direction. So it should be pretty quiet at night. There shouldn't be too many people coming by bothering you. And if we scroll up here, I think this would be a great spot right here. And then a cool thing about Google Maps, look at this. You can grab the little 3D man and you can drop him on the street and it will take you to a street view. So look at this. Here's a pretty secluded street, right? We got a little bit of housing down here. We got a little curb parking here. There's a kind of a concrete wall. There's a fence over here. So now keep in mind, this is Compton. I wouldn't necessarily try to stay in Compton anyway, just because of its reputation. But if you do need to stay in Compton, this looks like a pretty good bet. One thing to notice, there's not a lot of trash here. There's like one little bag on the street, but there's not much trash. So to me, the fact there's not a lot of trash indicates there's probably not a lot of tweakers and homeless people coming through. There's no other van dwellers. I think this would be an excellent spot to stay the night. It looks very quiet. It's right in the middle of Compton. It's right downtown. So if you have business downtown, you can handle your business and you could stay there at night and you're not going to have any problems. So look at that. Within 5 minutes, we found stealth camping in Compton. It's just that easy, guys. It's just that easy. Granny Wowzer says there's some nice areas in Compton. I'm sure there are. I'm sure there are some nice areas in Compton. Map is 2022. When I look at the map, Charlie, it says imagery copyright 2024. Airbus Technologies. Map data copyright 2024. So I don't know. The street view, maybe the street view was 2022, but I think this aerial view is 2024. Let's look. Okay, yeah. So down here it says image capture May 2022. So the street view is 22, but it looks like the aerial view is 24. So yeah, of course, on any of this stealth camping stuff, this is kind of your initial inspection. Of course, you want to drive it in person, and if it looks sketchy, you want to back out. Okay, let's move on from Compton. Let's go to Santa Barbara. Santa Barbara is a really nice area, very expensive zip code, and I would guess it's probably more difficult to stealth camp there because it's a richer neighborhood and the cops are going to have it kind of locked down. So let's see what we can do in Santa Barbara. And here we are. We're right by the beach. Let's see what we can do. What can we do? Now, any of this stuff is probably going to be have signs on it for no overnight parking. All this stuff, all the beach parking lots, those are all patrolled pretty heavily just in general by law enforcement. They want to make sure there's no kids having too much fun. Don't have too much fun, kids. Is that a skateboard? Get it out of here. You know how the cops like to do. So I wouldn't necessarily recommend parking right there. And my guess would be that probably in the residential, they're going to be keeping an eye out. Now, one thing I wanted to mention, if you're in a regular vehicle, a car, a van, an SUV, any type of regular vehicle, you're going to be able to park almost anywhere in residential because it's easy to reason that you could just be visiting friends or family. It's not uncommon, especially as we get into summer, to have out-of-state visitors. So, I mean, in a regular car, you can camp anywhere. So let's go ahead and find some residential. So what I like to do for residential is, and since we're going to go residential, let's get close to the beach. I like to find a parking space that is not directly in front of somebody's house. You don't want people to be looking out their window, staring at your vehicle. It might set off some red flags. They might call the police, especially in the richer zip codes. And another thing to look out for is as you get into some of these wealthier zip codes, they might have an ordinance of no street parking. So you always want to just keep your eyes out. And I try to suggest, make sure you're not the only car on the street. Like, you want to see a couple other regular cars parked up just as a good indicator that overnight parking is probably allowed and you're not going to get the cops called on you. So what I'm looking for is like a side road where we can park on the side of somebody's house, not directly in front of it. Something like this. Let's see, we wind down into the neighborhood, something like this. Let's drop our little street man on Santa Cruz. This is an expensive zip code. Okay. Okay. I like this. I like this, guys. So check this out. You can park right here in front of this Saab. You got a whole bush blocking you here, so the house isn't looking at you. You could also park right here. Although you might not want to park on both sides of the street, that might make it too narrow. It might be that everyone parks on one side. Anyway, you got this kind of bush blocking you here. Now there is a house right here. So that's a little questionable, you know, because if they're home, they are probably going to see you park. You might even try right here. Let's try this out. That's so this wouldn't be too bad right here because this is somebody's side lawn. And then over here, this is kind of like not a front house, a front residence either. So I think this would be a pretty good spot to park. And keep in mind, when you're doing residential stealth camping, you want to park it, go after dark. You want to make your presence and your arrival unknown. So you want to pre-map your destination like we're doing here on Google, know exactly where you're going, pull up, kill the headlights, turn your ignition off. Don't be sitting in the front with the dome light on. Don't have your windows down and your music going. You want to just park, kill all the lights, and then ASAP, you want to go into the back. It's always best if you can get into the back from the front without going outside. So if you have a van where you can just walk inside to the back, or you can crawl over the seat, that's ideal. If you have to, you can go outside to get in, but try to enter the car from the side that's facing against the curb. So like on this case, try to enter the car from your passenger side. So again, this is all about, you just don't want people to be aware of what you're doing. So try to be just quick about it. And then once you're in the car, make sure you have your window coverings up and there's not light shining out. And basically once you're inside the car, you should be good to go. So I think this looks like a really good spot to stealth camp for the night if you're in a regular vehicle. Now, I would not park here if you have a big conversion van. If you have a box truck, it's just a no-go. It's probably not allowed, and the residents are likely to report you. So I wouldn't push it, but in a regular vehicle, you guys, the world is your oyster. You can park almost anywhere. So with that being said, let's figure out where a non-stealthy vehicle could park. Where can we park a box truck? Or where could we park like a conversion van that's obviously, you know, a camper van, something that doesn't necessarily fit in residential. So we are still in Santa Barbara. We're going to cruise down. We got some apartments. Main Street. Do we have any commercial? What do we got? What's down here? So one thing I wanted to show you guys, an easy way to distinguish residential from commercial. If you look at the map here, you see how all these tiny little roofs, the tiny little rectangles, that is residential. And then if you look north, you see these big white roofs. You see how much larger they are? That is going to be your commercial buildings. So it's pretty easy to spot the difference on Google Maps. And so now when you're looking for commercial, it's easy to spot and you can just zoom right in. So when we go to commercial, you can usually find side streets where businesses will park extra vehicles or delivery vehicles will park. So like right down here, this is looking pretty good to me. Of course, you'd want to check out the signs. Let's drop the little man and see what it looks like in the city, on the street. So of course, on all these situations, you're going to want to mind the parking signs. I don't like this. This feels like retail space. I want more, I want like commercial. Like I want some kind of a distribution center. Here we go. This is what I'm talking about. Okay, this is it. So we come down here, look at this. This is what we're looking for. This is like some kind of a plumbing or it looks like an air conditioning company. This is where I would park my box truck. Let's check it out. Here we go. Jackpot, we found it. Look at that. Within 5 minutes, we found parking for a box truck or a shuttle bus. So this is some kind of an HVAC company. But look at right here, they have a big, some kind of a delivery truck parked on the street. If we go down a little ways, there's a big delivery truck here. So I think you could park right here where that white pickup is, no problem. I would park my box truck there without hesitation. Same with where that blue truck's at, no problem. You could park on the opposite side, not by the red curb, of course, but any of these parking spots right here where that Camry's at, you could park right there. Wonderful. That's it. That's the spot. See how easy that is? Google Maps makes stealth camping extremely easy. So I'm going to take a pause and hop back to the chat and see what you guys are chattering about. Let's see where we're at. New World Order. Find a spot and camp close to a gym where you can shower and work out. That's a great idea. Dwight Murphy Field. I will look for Dwight Murphy Field for you, Dre. I got you. After dark, pre-map, in the morning, leave early. Feminine, absolutely. Pull in after dark, leave early in the morning. Now, early is, debatable. As for me, Nomad Brad, sometimes I get up early, sometimes I like to sleep in. And so if you're, you can kind of do whatever feels right. Either way, I would want to be out by like 9 a.m. at the latest. But a lot of businesses don't really even open till 9 a.m. So I think if you're out by 9 a.m., that's totally, totally reasonable. Alpha Sigma, what a great stream for us nomads. Thank you. Alpha Sigma, I am happy to share the knowledge. We're going to look at Dwight Murphy Field. I don't even know what that is. Dwight, we're going to find out together. It's in Santa Barbara. Dwight Murphy Field. We'll find a spot there. Let me go back to the chat really quick. Lots of nomads don't like to share info. Here's the thing. I'm just giving you guys the tools on how to find a spot. I'm not showing you guys my favorite spots where I'm at right now in San Diego. And what I do want to say is it makes sense not to share your location where you're actively stealth camping, because if all of a sudden a dozen nomads show up within the area that you're at, it raises awareness. So in general, it's a good idea to not broadcast where you're staying, but this isn't where I'm staying. I'm in San Diego. We're talking about Santa Barbara. Before that, we were talking about Compton. So I just want to give you guys the tools to help you have a successful stealth camp. Diana Saylor, my schoolie for sure will have to go commercial. Yes, Diana Saylor, I agree. You'll want to be in commercial. Honestly, Diana, I would come to California because the parking is super relaxed if you want to park near the water. Also, Texas. Texas has spots you can just straight up camp on the beach, no fees. Look up Magnolia Beach in Texas. There's free beach camping there. Alpha Sigma, thank you. I appreciate it. Okay, cool. Let's look for Dwight Murphy Field. This is what Dre was asking about. Dre must hang out at Dwight Murphy Field. Maybe he balls there. Are you a baller, Dre? You a football man? A soccer man? Okay, so I would ask you too, Dre, what type of vehicle are you in? Because that's going to make a difference. It's definitely easier to stealth camp in a regular vehicle. If you got a box truck or a shuttle bus or something, you have to play a little differently. Man, that's right off the beach. That's so cool. Mark Osborne. Mark Osborne, I have a 2007 Ford E450 Econoline. It's the 6.8 liter V10. The part that's leaking is the transmission mounted parking brake. I've changed the unit itself out 4 times, but the unit itself is leaking. It's not a leak from the transmission. I put a new seal in the transmission, so it's not a transmission issue. It's not a driveline issue. But what my thought is, because I've replaced the unit 4 times, I feel like there's a secondary issue that is causing the failure. So I'm wondering if there's something within the transmission or the driveline that could be causing this unit to be having an issue. I don't know what it is, but it's driving me crazy. If you can figure it out, $1,000 to you, sir. Okay, Dre, At night, you can sleep at Dwight Murphy Field, and during the day, you can park at East Beach for free. Oh, that's good info. Dre isn't asking for help. He's providing help. Thank you, sir. At night, you can sleep at Dwight Murphy Field. Let's check it out. So, they got parking lots here. Oh, look at that. There's a van right here. There's a van parked up right on that roundabout. There's a big parking lot here. Look at all these vans. Oh, dude, this is Van Life Central. Look. There's a van right here. There's a van right here. There's a van right here. None of these guys have solar power. What's going on? They need a visit from old Nomad Brad. We got to get these guys panels. Here's one. This guy's got a little 100-watt panel. Here's a van right here. Yeah, there you go. Here's a truck. So, if you're in Santa Barbara, Dre with the assist, Dwight Murphy Field is the spot to stay the night. By the way, Diana, I would recommend, if you're so inclined, I would paint your school bus white. It will stand out a lot less as a schoolie if you paint it white. That's my opinion. I would suggest doing that. I know it's a lot of work, but that's what I would do. You don't have to be crazy about it. I mean, you could just cover the windows with newspaper and spray it with, spray paint. There's plenty of YouTube videos on just using rattle can or roller paint to paint it. You don't have to get too crazy, but I would recommend painting it white. Alpha Sigma, I have one more trick that very few nomads even know about. I'll never tell what it is. Alpha Sigma holding back the secrets. All right, brother. Adventures of Traveling Mike, also in Texas, Boca Chica Beach, right below SpaceX. Let's check that out. I would love to watch a SpaceX launch. Boca Chica, Texas. What does he say? Boca Chica Beach. Here we go. Oh, look at that. Oh, yeah, here we go. Okay. So here's SpaceX launch pad. And here's Boca Chica. Look at this. What is this right here? That looks like... Look at that. I love Google's satellite view. That is a bunch of nomads. There's a school bus and an RV and a box truck camped out on the beach. So there you go. You can do it on Boca Chica Beach. How fun would that be? I would love to go camp out on the beach for a SpaceX launch. That would be so fun. I'm putting that on my bucket list. Boca Chica Beach. I got to pull up my notes really quick. I'm adding it to the list. It's happening. Give me 1 second while I add this. Texas, Boca Chica Beach. And this is SpaceX launch site. Awesome. Thank you for the tip, sir. I appreciate it. I am going to visit that next time I come through Texas. Dre, I'm just sharing a recommendation of where I see people sleep in vehicles and wondering what you think about it. I'm in Santa Barbara. Yeah, Dre, that looks awesome. Just the fact that I see all those van dwellers in the Google satellites, it looks really good. So yeah, I like it, and for the most part, it seems like as long as there's not posted signs that specifically say no parking, it seems like you're good. And in most cases, I feel like police will give you a warning before they'll just ticket you. So it looks good. Santa Barbara is beautiful. I'll be heading up through there later this summer, and I would love to come through and check it out. Congratulations on being in Santa Barbara. It's a beautiful place. And congratulations, Dre, for living in a beautiful place and not paying crazy rent. California rent is out of control. So I'm happy you're able to do it and on the cheap. Mark Osborne, yes, it's ATF that's leaking. The transmission-mounted parking brake leaks or has a reservoir that holds automatic transmission fluid. It lubricates the bearings. And what I'll say is every unit I've installed, all four of them, it's leaked almost immediately after installing the unit. And the leak is initially just a little drip, and then the longer I drive it, the worse the leak gets. And it seems to get worse when I drive fast. So like when I'm just putting around San Diego going 30 miles an hour, it doesn't leak that bad. But when I hit the freeway and go 65, the rate at which it leaks out seems to be a lot faster. It also seems like the unit itself is getting very hot. When I get out of my car, I can smell the smell of like hot burning fluid. So I feel like what might be happening is for some reason the unit is getting hot. Maybe something's out of alignment, and maybe it's causing the seals to burn out or end up out of place. I'm not sure, but I don't think it's the unit itself. I think it's some kind of a secondary issue causing the problem. Revo Runner, Dre coming through for the win. I agree with you. Thank you. Thank you, Dre, helping out the Nomad community. I love the fact that the Nomads are helping the Nomads. Diana says, I have to paint it. I was going to paint it a light green. Yes, light green, no problem. Totally recommend any color other than yellow. A light color will help keep it cooler in the summer. So light green, light blue, white. I think actually light green would be a better choice because it won't get dirty as often. A white vehicle does have a tendency to attract more dirt and road grime. Adventures of Mike, Traveling Mike, free beach camping, and you can drive right to the Rio Grande, dumping into the ocean. Awesome. Definitely putting it on my list. Appreciate it, guys. We're just helping each other out, sharing the information. Mark Osborne, I appreciate you. Yeah, it's been really stressful for me because it's literally inhibiting my ability to travel. I can't go, like I was going to go to Oregon this summer, but I can't go that far because I'm having to constantly refill this unit with ATF fluid. And like we're talking like every 100 miles or less, I'm having to top it back off because the reservoir only holds like 3 ounces of fluid. So I'm having to refill it, you know, every 50 miles, 100 miles. Imagine trying to drive 1,000 miles and having to pull over every 50 miles to top off your transmission fluid. It's crazy. It drives me crazy. And then on top of that, if you run the unit dry, if it leaks out completely, it'll burn up the bearings, and it can actually cause the transmission mounted parking brake to seize to the transmission, and then you have to replace the entire transmission and the parking brake. It's absolutely nuts. Crazy. Okay, Bumley Mumble. Thanks, Nomad Brad, for what you do. An old man looking for a way out. You've given me hope. Happy to hear it. Bumley Mumblepeg. That sounds like a Harry Potter name. Happy to provide encouragement. I'm telling you guys, if you can put up with change, you know, the biggest thing about van life is it's a different life. And people grow accustomed to a certain lifestyle. They get accustomed to a routine and, you know, showering every day and just like, you know, doing laundry in your unit and all these kind of conveniences. If you can put up with change and a little bit of discomfort, temporary discomfort, what you will find is a lot of adventure and freedom, and all of a sudden those creature comforts are not important to you. And what you will realize is it's those creature comforts that were actually holding you hostage. Showers every day, doing laundry in your unit, right? Just being able to just have unlimited water and electricity and sit on your couch and watch Netflix and order delivery food. All those little comforts are keeping you trapped. And at this point, you're being trapped in an expensive living situation where the cost of rent is potentially a big portion of your income. You're having to pay a bunch of other expenses. And at the same time, you might be living in a location you don't even really enjoy living in. And so if you can get over the mental hurdles of giving up some of those things, hit the road, start living on the road, go live somewhere exciting where you like to be either in nature or be in a city that's exciting and got a lot going on, I think you will feel alive again. You will feel alive and free, and you will realize there's so much possibility. And no matter your age, you will realize you have just began a completely new chapter. And there's nothing more exciting than whatever situation you're at in your life. If you're feeling like it's stale and boring, there's nothing more exciting than realizing you're at a completely new beginning. And that's what this lifestyle does for you. It saves you a bunch of money. It allows you to spend more money on your own enjoyment and your own needs. You can buy better groceries. You can eat out at better restaurants. You can buy better quality clothes if you want, because you only have a few clothes. So why not buy good quality clothes? You can really treat yourself to a better living experience while spending less money. It's truly remarkable. People don't get it. People don't grasp it because they're so stuck in the idea that like they have to go back to the same box every night to live in, and people are just used to paying rent and they don't think outside the box. But if you can think outside the box and think inside the vehicle, you can have an exciting brand new life, and you can do it on a budget. And one thing that's cool too is there's different types of nomad life. If you guys watch Bob Wells and like Cheap RV Living, he's all about being out in the country, in the boonies. He's on BLM land. He's out in the mountains, which is beautiful. I love nature. I love being out in the mountains. You can camp for free for up to 2 weeks at a time on BLM land. But the downside is you're pretty isolated. You're basically living by yourself in the woods, which some people really like that, and I like that, but only for limited amounts of time. I mean, at the end of the day, I don't want to live by myself in the forest. And that's one reason why I'm not super interested in an off-grid property that's really far out of town. Like, I don't want to be an hour away from a small town and then 2 hours away from a major shopping center. Like, not for like a daily basis. To me, that's not exciting. Like, I would go there for maybe a month or something, but I want to be in the action. Like, I want to have access to good grocery stores and restaurants and experiences and, maybe go to the movies. I want to go to a concert. Like, I want to enjoy life. I want to do all the fun stuff. I want to have friends. I want to, be able to take part in society. And so the great thing about this lifestyle is you don't have to live way out an hour out of town down some dirt road all by yourself in the forest. You can live in a city. And that's what I'm doing right now. I'm going to go back to my current location and I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. So here I am right here. This is the Target that I'm looking at outside my window. And this is the parking lot. I'm literally parked right here in the parking lot. My Google location is not quite accurate. It thinks that I'm in the middle of the road, but this is where I'm at. But check out how cool this is. So I've been parked here all day, doing some computer work. I walked over into Target this morning. I used the bathroom. I did some grocery shopping. I bought some bananas. I got some hummus. I got some crackers. So I walked into Target, got some groceries, walked back to the van, unloaded them. I did a little more computer work. And then right over here, this is a big outdoor shopping mall. So there's like a Express and a Claire's and a GameStop and a Zoomies and a Nordstrom Rack. So I went into the Nordstrom Rack and I bought a couple new t-shirts. Nomad Brad needed a couple more black t-shirts. I have a couple that are all faded and torn up from doing solar installations, and I need some new ones. So I walked into Nordstrom Rack, bought a couple t-shirts, and then I walked right back out to my house and did a little more computer work. And then I'm staying right down the street. I'm not going to show you guys exactly where I'm staying at, but literally just less than a mile away over here somewhere, I have a spot where I park for the evening. So I'm literally a mile away. My sleeping spot is a mile away from my hangout spot. And then last night I was parked on the street at my sleeping spot, and I got a little bit hungry, and I was gonna cook some food, but I thought, man, I really want some salsa. I'm out of salsa. So I literally just walked out of my van over to this Trader Joe's, and I bought some chips and salsa from my van. Living for free. It's freaking incredible. I love it. Living in the city is so fantastic. It's incredible. So this is the cool experience. And so, I've been here for a couple days now, but tomorrow I'm heading back over to the beach. So it's about a 5-mile drive over to Fiesta Island. And that's a spot where you can camp out on the beach all day. I'm going to film some more videos, do a little bit of work. Right here, look, there's an RV, there's a box truck hanging out. This lifestyle is so cool. You can just live all over the city. You can go spend a couple days living by the grocery store. You can spend a couple days living downtown at a concert venue. You can do whatever you want. It's absolutely nuts. So I want to encourage you guys, if you're thinking about it, check it out. Check it out. Granny Gamer, I did not leave any of the old seals behind. Removed the old seal, installed a brand new seal. Alpha Sigma sounds annoying. It does, Alpha Sigma. It is. It's really annoying. Feminem, we appreciate you. I appreciate you. It's a brain wiggle. I like that. I've never heard that phrase before. Brain wiggle. It absolutely is. New World Order films. Wouldn't it be a lot easier for you to stealth camp in a van? Honestly, I haven't had any problems in my box truck at all. My box truck is wrapped to look like a commercial vehicle, so most people that drive by, they just think it's a work van. In fact, this van, I've never had the knock. I've never had a cop knock on my door, ask me anything. I've never had anybody complain. So, it's easy. Yeah, totally easy. Now, if I had a minivan, then yes, a minivan would be easier because it looks like a passenger vehicle and I could park it in residential neighborhoods. But this box truck, I do not park in any residential, and I don't have a need to. You can see from all the stuff we did tonight, you don't have to stay in residential. And another reason I have the box truck is it's so big. It's like a studio apartment. 7-foot ceilings, 8-foot wide. I have everything I need in here. It's super comfortable. And I have all my solar installation tools. I have parts, extra wiring. I have a ladder. So I do need a bigger vehicle. If I was not working as a solar installer, I could get by with a lot less space. But because I do need parts and a lot of tools, I need more space. Alpha Sigma, I agree with you. 100% agree. Nomad life is so much more rewarding. It is. I love it. It's such a good time. I ain't going back to a house. It ain't going to happen. Granny, I want to travel to Indiana and leave California to be with my grandchildren. Granny, exactly. You should do it. Go be with your family. Get rid of your apartment. Sell your stuff. Put it in a storage unit. Get a minivan. Throw in a couple items and hit the road. Go to Indiana. Be with your family. I'm sure they'd be happy to have you. Kenny on board. I'll see you Saturday for my shore power. Pick a convenient for you. Yes, Kenny, I will see you Saturday. Come to Fiesta Island, Sunset Beach. I will be at Fiesta Island, Sunset Beach on Saturday. I will install your shore power. What else do we got? What else do we got? Check in the chats. Minimalist living is good even if you're not van living. I agree. Everybody can benefit from minimalism. My favorite part about it is owning less stuff. You can have better stuff. Like, you really only need 3 or 4 pairs of shoes if you're living like in a regular house. But if you're doing minimalist, then you can have nice ones. You can have $200 shoes if you only have 4 pairs of them. You know, that's, what is that, $800? Rather than you get cheaper shoes, you know, they're 50 or 60 bucks. You're buying a new pair every year. It doesn't make sense. And then the cool thing too is once you buy really good stuff you enjoy, then you're content and you're satisfied. Like, you have really good shoes, or I have really good jeans that cost me $100, but they fit me properly. And then when you're out, you're not like enticed to go shopping for jeans because you already have exactly the jeans you need. Alpha Sigma, the beauty of nomad life is being able to mix all styles as needed. I agree with you. Living off the road, Kaya in the house. Hello, hello, late but made it. We're at In-N-Out. Oh my goodness, In-N-Out. I am hungry. Nomad Brad needs to go make dinner. In-N-Out got me craving. Dre says, where do you fill up water? Dre, that is a good question. So the best places to fill up water is a boat launch or an RV dump. So fortunately here, and if you're up in Santa Barbara, you should have no problem with that. Where I'm at here in San Diego, there's a ton of RV dump stations. They always have water spigots. So let's see. Let's go like this. And let's go RV dump. Oh my goodness. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. So right here, recreational vehicle dumping station. There's going to be a water spigot right here with a hose bib. It's always a good idea to sanitize the water spigots just in case. But I've been doing it for years. My dad is in an RV. He does the same thing. He's been doing it for years. He uses the water spigots at dump stations. They say not potable water. It's just a liability notice. So what he does is he just has like a little spray thing of alcohol, and he just sprays it on the fitting and then wipes it down and then hooks up his hose. There's no problem. My dad's been doing it for over 10 years. He's never had a problem. I've never had a problem. So RV dump stations, there's one right there. Also boat launches. This one right here, South Shores Park boat ramp, right up over here. You can see there's an RV right now. That's a little dump station. And then on this side, there's a hose for boats. So a lot of times at boat launches, they have water spigots because they want you to rinse off your boat before you put it in the water to clean off any like algae or dirt or contaminants that might be on the boat. Let's go to Santa Barbara. Let's see what we got. Let's go boat launch. Let's say RV dump. Let's see what they got. Nope. That is not at all where we're at. Santa Barbara. Santa Barbara. Let's go RV dump station. So the RV parks have dumps, but they're not probably going to be free. Santa Barbara smog, gas, and propane. I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't see anything here in Santa Barbara. So the other thing I'll do is you can go to a gas station. Most gas stations will have water spigots. It used to be like a law that if the gas stations had to provide water for their customers to fill. It's like an old law from back in the day when cars would overheat often. But it was a law that gas stations had to provide water spigots for customers to fill their radiators. So I would go to a gas station and look for a water spigot. And I wouldn't ask them. I would just hook up to it. I would just ask for forgiveness, not permission. Just assume it's okay. Same with city parks. A lot of city parks will have water spigots, so you could go there and hook up. Okay, let's hop back to the chat. See what we got going on. Winnemucca. My aunt and uncle live in Winnemucca. My dad is actually in Winnemucca right now visiting my aunt and uncle. 3-day free, picnic table, barbecue park, pack out, easy stop after a long day of driving, Streamwater Canyon. Okay, Mountains for Me says Streamwater Canyon in Winnemucca, Nevada. 3-day free camping, picnic table, barbecue pit. I like it. Thank you, Mountains for Me. I appreciate you. King Gamer, I'm at the spot you showed me. Love it. Loving to see it. King Gamer's out there. He's got a spot for the night. DeRumble says, I would get a box truck, but I can't get food from the drive-thru. Hey, bro, it's all about priorities. When you're living this lifestyle, it's all about what you want to do, what's comfortable to you. If you don't want to be in a box truck, if you want to hit those drive-through lines, then I feel you, bro. Don't get a box truck. All good. My first vehicle was a high-top Ford Econoline E250 cargo van, and that one could hit drive-throughs no problem. Ford Transit ProMaster, no problem in a drive-through. Let's see what else we got. Okay, this guy, Bumley Mumblepeg, says, lived my whole life because of commitments to people I love. It's so quiet now. Don't know what to do with myself. It's strange. You know what that means, Bumley? It means it's your time. You got to love yourself. So now is your time to live your life based on your love for yourself. So it's time to love you, brother or lady. Figure out what you love. If you love traveling, if you love being by the beach, if you love being in the mountains, wherever you love to be, go be there. If you love living downtown, going to concerts, going to music, whatever you love to do, go be there, my man. Go be there and enjoy your life. Granny Wowzers is out. Nice meeting everyone. Thank you, Granny Wowzers. I appreciate you being here. I appreciate the tip. I hope everybody learned a lot tonight. Alpha Sigma says another great thing is every other nomad he has met is cool AF and down to earth. I agree. Being a nomad is a humbling experience. If you're, anything other than humble, van life will humble you. So when you meet someone that's been on the road for a while, they're usually pretty chill, pretty laid back. It's always fun meeting new vehicle dwellers. What size water tanks do I have? I have a 30-gallon water tank, and it lasts me about a week if I'm using it heavily. If I'm conservative, I can go about a week and a half. Okay, New World Order says, do you think Sprinter vans are crap, basically, and do you like the Transit? So, I don't think Sprinter vans are crap. I think they're expensive to maintain. It's just the problem with the Sprinter is you have to go to Mercedes or a Mercedes certified mechanic. They have special tools, they have special parts. You can't just go get stuff at Napa Auto Parts. It's all specialty. So you're going to pay more for service and repair. And from everything I've heard, they're less reliable. All the emission systems and the diesel systems are more prone to failure. I would avoid it. I would get a Ford Transit. They seem to have the least issues. I see a lot of ProMasters with transmission problems and a lot of ProMasters with electrical problems. So even newer ones, like I'm seeing newish, like 2023 ProMasters with transmission issues. So I would say Ford Transit seems to have the least problems. I would get a Ford Transit, 100%. I do minivan. My first one was a two-door Honda Accord. There you go. Marview lived in an Econoline. Hell yeah, Marview. Happy to see you here. Happy to see you in the live. Sigma Sky Dasher. I'm doing me right now. Door dashing and Uber Eats till midnight. There you go, Sigma. Do you. Stack that cash. Enjoy yourself. Enjoy your life. Anytime Fitness. I use Planet Fitness. Anytime Fitness. I have used them. I had a friend that had an Anytime Fitness membership. I have used them. They're a lot nicer, but they have less locations. The reason I like Planet Fitness is nationwide. They just have a lot more locations, so it's easier to find a shower when you need it. All right, guys, that's it from me. It's been an hour. Nomad Brad's hungry. I got to go get some dinner, and then I'm going to the car wash. My van is filthy. It needs a bath. I've been neglecting it. I'm sorry. We're going to get you clean tonight. I like to appreciate I would like to say thank you to everybody that came to the live tonight. I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for contributing. I do lives every Wednesday at 6 o'clock Pacific, and I post new videos every Sunday at 5 p.m. Pacific. So I hope to see you guys next Wednesday. In the meantime, this is Nomad Brad signing out. Peace.